Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first session of the Speak Knowledge series at CMPL Expo 2025. We are kicking things off with the Power Table. We have two exclusive fireside chats featuring trailblazers in the FMCG space. These sessions will explore their journey from early challenges to scale, category creation, and the evolving role of trust in brand building. Please welcome our moderator for the Fireside Chats, Mr. Varun Verma, Principal at Fireside Ventures. A huge round of applause for him, please. Part of one of country's most influential early-stage investment firms focused on building iconic consumer brands. Warm welcome to you, Varun. Thank you. First in conversation with Varun, we have with us Mr. Saurabh Singhal, co-founder and chief supply, mCaffeine and Hyphen. Can we have a huge round of applause? Come on. Varun, over to you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Awesome.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for braving Mumbai's traffic and the weather for being here. And thank you to CMPL for having us. And most importantly, Saurabh for agreeing to do this. I'll quickly jump right into it. I know we have 30 minutes. You heard a quick brief about Saurabh. He's one of the co-founders of mCaffeine, or what's known as Pep Technologies. They own brands, two brands in particular, mCaffeine and Hyphen. He's the chief supply chain officer there and has been with the company since the very start. So maybe, Saurabh, if you don't mind giving us a quick background of the journey that Pep has been through. It started as a salon business, then pivoted to, or then added mCaffeine as a caffeine-focused brand, which then became more coffee, which then became body care, and along the way, you've also launched Hyphen. Yes. So if you don't mind just talking through the journey and what was the customer insight behind each of these strategies along the journey?
First of all, thank you, Varun, for this, for calling me here. Thank you, CMPL. We started in 2015 as a salon chain, and it's a service industry. But we launched few personal care products. So what we were building is service plus product. But naturally, all five of us, we are 5 founder company. Our inclination is towards product. We discuss product more than the service, and we figured out that we should launch a personal care brand, and CPG, consumer packaged goods, is what really inclined us. We were inclined towards that. So we launched mCaffeine. For 2 years, we did fair share of mistakes. We learned a lot in launching the product. But when we talked to our customers in the journey of 2 years, we figured out that we have launched caffeine as an anchor ingredient. We had a belief that if people can consume caffeine, they can easily apply it onto their hair and skin. Plus, it has both psychological and sociological effect. It has great impact on hair and skin. So caffeine as an anchor ingredient, it's a Gen Z ingredient that we tried to launch. And after 2 years, what we figured out that by talking to a lot of customers, that people perceive caffeine is an alternative to coffee. People understand coffee rather than caffeine. And then in 2018, we took a small pivot. We remain into personal care only, but we launched our first coffee range, and that is first pivotal moment for mCaffeine. And post that, the journey was really great. But at some point, we figured out that mCaffeine, then we generally talk to our customers a lot. We 5 founders, we have a team who take customers' feedback, but as a team as well, as a founders as well as a management team as well, we talk to a lot of customers, and we figured out that people are perceiving us as a body care brand. mCaffeine is perceived as body care brand. We have great body products. Our body scrub is one, and body scrub, body washes are one of the top finest in the top 10, top 15 products in all the platforms. Then we figured out that yes, there is a need to scale into other categories, and we figured out face care is not where we are able to serve our customers from mCaffeine. Then we launched a brand in 2 years back, Hyphen, which is a celebrity-led brand. Anchored by our institution, and it is focused on face care. So mCaffeine works as body care, Hyphen as face care. So we are serving our customers from these two brands in different categories. So category is what we are focusing on. So all these come from the customers' feedback that we have taken. So we figured out that whatever we are building for the customers, and if we should really hear them, what they are saying. And these are the two good pivotal moments. Hyphen is also doing great. mCaffeine is what it is. So, yes.
No, thank you for that. As investors, we keep telling founders that less is more. Focus is super important. Building one brand is hard enough. I imagine two can't be any simpler. So, how has the organization evolved as you're scaling and building two successful brands? What's the org structure like? How are you prioritizing, making capital allocation decisions? What's fun and not fun about building two brands simultaneously?
So basically, building the first brand is a bit difficult because that time you need to build the entire organization from scratch, which includes your supply chain, your finance, your marketing, sales, all the back ends, front ends. But as you scale, as you grow old into the entire functions, launching the other brand, you can leverage your playbooks basically. So we had our own R&D, we still have our own R&D. We build chases from our own. We partner with a lot of labs, with a lot of manufacturers infrastructure we use to build the products. Now we have already learned how to do that, right? Our infra is ready. Now only thing is that we need a marketing difference between these two brands, these two products. So I think building the first brand is more difficult because of from the organizational point of view. Building the second brand or third brand or fourth brand is majorly that you have to focus on product proposition. What you want to serve from the brand, what your customers are asking. So I think second brand is always, the learning curves get reduced. You don't do the same mistakes what you did in the past 2-3 years while scaling the first brand. The playbooks are ready. You are more focused towards what will work, what will not work. At least you know what will not work. So yes, scaling the second brand is a little bit easier. It has its own challenges, but yes, the infra is set. So I think we can leverage that infra in always launching a new brand.
I think you made another interesting point around customer insight, right? Like customer centricity, speaking to your customers often. But in speaking to your customers often, there's a lot of noise as well, right? Like, how do you chaff out the noise from the actual insight? And when do you know that the insight is strong enough for you to either pivot or launch another brand altogether?
So for that, we have a great research team with us. We call it an NPD strategy team, who check out all the informations, who map it, what are the global trends, what people are asking, because yes, there's always a noise because customer wants everything into one product, right? So you need to figure out what can be delivered, what cannot be delivered. But yes, mapping this with our own research, with our own trends that are going. We talk to customers is one area. Then we talk to all our partners, our selling platforms, right? What new trends are coming, what you see. They give us insights, and then you marry all those things. You get the final output, and then there's a what do you say, a gut call as well. This will work, this will not work. Data is backed. Everything you do backed by data, by customer insights. Then you have to take a final call. Yes, these are the 3 things that we should actually do into the market. These are the 3 things we should not do. But we note down all the 3 things that we do and 3 things that we have not done. So then we review our things, and then we can figure out, okay, this is working, this is not working.
Awesome. Just moving to a topic closer to your heart, obviously the supply chain side of it. If you don't mind just quickly glossing over, what does the supply chain for mCaffeine and Hyphen look like? Do you in-source manufacturing, outsource? You mentioned NPDs happening in-house. How does it all work and come together, and how do you manage the supply chains of 2 different brands?
Managing supply. So basically, our infra is built. We have manufacturers, we have labs, we have our own team. For them, it is irrespective. So our marketing team, our NPD strategy team make a brief of a product, right? This is you want to deliver into it. The team let us know that this should be into this color range. There's a design team who works on all these things. And hence it goes to the NPD funnel. These are the things that you need to launch. Now the entire infra of the team, manufacturers, labs are already ready. The products, chassis that we define are different for the 2 products because they are serving a different kind of customer, different kind of problem statements. But the knowledge pool is the same. The infrastructure is same. So I think running the supply chain is a bit easy. because of the infra, the leverage that we had over the past 6-7 years, what we have built. So yes, we have built the second brand onto that. So it's
And you outsourced all your manufacturing, you mentioned.
yes, yes.
And
So manufacturing is outsourced. Already infra is there. Why to put a new infra is what we think in our current situation. Might be in a couple of years that would change. There are brands who has their own manufacturing. There are brands who are doing the third party. But I think India is well versed with respect to the infra for manufacturing. So you can scale up a brand or you can scale up a lot of brands into India with the current manufacturing infra that we have.
And how do you decide that a product that you've developed is ready to be launched, right? Whether there's enough differentiation, stability of the product, etc. How do you make that decision?
So there is a whole playbook. There are three parts to a product. One is the chassis, that it has to be stable, which gives you all the textures or all the feel, the kind of, like for example, if you're launching a sunscreen, it should not have a white cast. So all these are physical parameters of the product. Then there is a loading of active ingredients, which will give you the efficacy of the product. So once the product is done, you do a stability test, and parallelly you work with your customers to understand the feedback, how the people are taking it, what tweaks that you want, how are the people liking it or not. So we have focus group discussions that happens. We are blessed with few customers who help us in building the product to giving us the feedback. Once everything is done, then parallelly there are a lot of work that happens on packaging, that it should be compatible. So we follow 6P rule. One is the proposition of the product is what it decided. Then our R&D teams work on the product. The proposition that our team has asked, whether we are matching, the product is matching those expectations or not. Then works on the packaging, that the packaging should be suitable with that. Then the pricing of the product, and then on which platform we want to launch, whether it's a B2C first or whether it's a omni-channel first, whether it's we are building out for any particular platform, and the promotions that will go around it. So these are the 6P rule that we follow in any product, and with this journey, I think the product goes out into the market.
I think you mentioned somewhere that typically products take 9 months to develop. You all managed to do that in a 3-month period, 90-day period. What's the secret to that?
So basically, a typical timelines for any product launch is what we keep is 5 months. 5 months from brief to launching into the market. Because we build our 1-year calendar, we already have a 1-year calendar what products we want to make. So our R&D team started working a year back onto the product. So chassis is one of the most important part of the product. Chassis has to be stable. Then what kind of actives that you want to load into the product, and this combination of stability we get started a little early. Then we have a playbook. So for example, the brand book is ready. That what kind of range it would come into, what kind of color it would be there. If there's a product, we have a lot of repository that is maintained for packaging. So packaging selection is easy. So we work a lot on the repository. We, like for example, if you are coming in a conference, we see 10 packagings, or we'll ask our partners to send us the packaging. We'll evaluate the packaging in our current formulation. So we do a lot of pre-work done so that we can launch it in very early stage.
No, that's awesome. Unfortunately or fortunately, we live in a world of super clutter in beauty and personal care. I remember somebody told me that one of the beauty platforms 6 years ago had about 800 skincare brands. We now are crossing about 6,000 skincare, body care, everything. And that's just insane, right? And what that also means is that the speed at which products get imitated is also very quickly. When Mamaearth launched onion shampoo many years ago, they had quite a runway before somebody created a version of that product. So in such a cluttered world, such a competitive world, how do you think about differentiation at a product level? And how do you protect the IP that goes into building these products?
Riding on the trends is one part where we always focus on. We keep our NPD strategy, our research team to be on their toes, keep what can be put into the product, what are their global trends that are coming into the market, what are new actives that are there who can bring the efficacy of the product. But product and execution both. So if you see, there are from 800 to 6,000 brands. The only difference, one of the greatest differentiation is execution. product is there. Product is the core. Matlab you have to make the product right. Unless how good you can do the execution, if the product is not right, there would be no repeat, higher marketing, higher burn. So in the end, finally, the product has to serve what it is saying. It should be true. So basically, you should not overcommit to the product. Whatever your product is doing, whatever you're building, you should only commit to that part, so that your customer knows कि okay, अच्छा इतना करेगा. What you are saying on the label, if it is doing that much, I'm happy, right? So our current customers are well educated, they're skin enthusiasts, they know what the product is, why they are using the product. It was not like because my friend is saying let's use it. They do a well. So when you talk to our customers, we are very surprised that they know a lot from our R&D team as well. Matlab, they have a greater knowledge than from our R&D team, because they start reading. People have started basically learning about what personal care is. So they particularly choose that this is a sunscreen that we want to launch. So first, we always claim what our product does. We don't overcommit onto the product. And then the execution part, the entire execution machinery, the availability of the product on all the platforms. We build the product for consumers, the channels it should be present, and it should create a cash flow. So these are the 3 C's that we generally follow into.
Nice. There are 2 things I want to touch upon there. One is execution, right? You mentioned it's such a intangible word. It's so hard to define when we tell people like execution is super important. What does that mean? How do you know that you are executing well? And obviously there are lagging indicators, but that's too late sometimes, right? Knowing your marketing cost is going up, etc. ROAS is not working. But how do you proactively measure that we are on the right track as far as execution is concerned?
For that, what we have done, so our management focus is always on the integration part. So our marketing team should be integrated with our sales should be integrated with the planning should be integrated with the supply chain. So basically, when what you are thinking, so for example, if a sales guy is thinking that I'll work on this category, but marketing team is not aligned, so nothing would go in the right direction, right? You are putting money onto say face washes, and the sales guy is saying ki my platform is asking for sunscreen because they are doubling down on the sunscreens, right? So first and foremost, in execution part, the integration has to happen. The entire company should talk only in one direction. Whether it's right or not, it depends on the output. But it should be talking in the one direction. For example, if we know that this is a season of sunscreens, right, then the sales guy is talking to the platforms, or they're selling on the D2C. The marketing, whatever marketing ads that are going are related to sunscreen. Then all the things, what you are speaking, the ads that are going onto the platforms, should say what the product has. For example, you cannot say ki, if it's for example, it's India's first most effective sunscreen. You cannot say it's a new format of sunscreen which is coming out of a pump, right? It doesn't marry, right? So the integration part is where I think that, and once the integration is done, then execution is easy. Then you have to be on top, and defining the AOPs will help. Weekly or monthly reviewing the AOPs is what let us know whether we are going in the right direction or not.
No, that's super interesting. The other point you mentioned is making claims, right? Again, super cluttered. Everyone is making claims. How effective are claims? How important are claims? How do you validate your claims? Do you do clinical studies? Is it consumer studies enough? When do you feel confident of putting something out on the product and screaming about it?
So yes, claims are important because it tells what the product is, what the product will do. Consumers are reading the claims before buying the product. So yes, claims are important. It should be there. There are clinical studies, there are consumer studies that you can do and figure out the claims. So and the industry has been what you say. It's well versed with respect to the claims part. There are enough labs into the industry, enough agencies which help you to get the consumers try these products for the claims part. And yes, you should put claims. If your product has something, it should be shown, because people are now reading and then buying the products. They are not just buying the product for the sake of buying it. So yes, claims are important.
Got it. Just moving to manufacturing. So given this is a manufacturing focused conference. What are some other opportunities for brands to work better with manufacturers? How can manufacturers serve brands better? And what advice would you give to younger brands who are working with manufacturers in terms of some pitfalls that they could avoid given your experience of working with them for so many years?
With respect to manufacturing, we are blessed to have good manufacturers in our as partners with us. While selecting a manufacturer, I think you should do a good QA/QC audit. You should understand are they GMP certified or not, whether the infra that they have is suitable for your kind of product or not. You should meet your partners, what are their vision, check their R&Ds. Our manufacturers has developed a great R&D capability which is helping us to co-create the products with them. It speeds up the launch cycle. And yes, I think spending more time at the manufacturing unit. What I believe that you cannot build a business from your office, right? So you have to be there at the manufacturing unit. You constantly improve the processes for efficiencies, cost, because yes, in manufacturing there is always a scope of efficiency. And we are working with our partners day in and day out that how we can work on the efficiency part, where the quality part, that the product should come out and it should serve well to the customers. So people have to work closely with manufacturing. It should not be like that you have just given a product and someone is making it. You have to make it as your own kitchen. So, and in India, the infrastructure for manufacturing for personal care is huge. It is developing, and I think we are at a very great stage where brands there's no need of going out globally to get those products.
I keep saying that it's never been easier to start and never been harder to succeed building BPC brands in the country. But we have 10 minutes left. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then open it out to the audience. I think one topic specifically that we at Fireside really talk about is sustainability, the value of good. I think it's something that you all have been talking about for many years. You all are a cruelty-free, vegan brand rather. And I think when you started, the focus was on using more glass packaging. Even today, I believe you work with a partner called the Disposal Company that helps offshoot all the plastic consumption that you have and makes you plastic neutral as an organization. So we would just love to understand, what drives this focus or obsession around sustainability? Does the customer care? Does the customer pay? Or how do you price it into the product?
See, sustainability is a very broad topic to discuss. I'll cover a few points. What I think, no one brand or an organization can bring sustainability. Sustainability will have to come from one, education and awareness, right? And it has to come from consumers. For example, we are too many people who are attending the CMPL today. How many people are carrying their own water bottle? They all are using plastic water bottles, right? So it has to, if consumer will not ask for sustainability, right, it would be difficult for the brands to serve, because sustainability definitely will come at a cost. It would not be cheap. So brands, what they do is they do some bit of the things which helps the mother earth, or like for example, we do that plastic recycling so that we are plastic neutral. But bringing, say for example, a packaging which is there are packaging that has come. We are introducing few packaging that will help the sustainability part, but it can go up to a limit. Either a big organization has to come and rules has to come that okay, these things cannot be used, and then people have to be. Like for example, we are not using plastic bags in Maharashtra. This is one drive that the government has taken, right? So such kind of drive has to be taken at a country level to bring the sustainability part. One brand or few brands or few smaller organization can do a small part can take a part into that, but consumer awareness, education and asking would be the game changer into sustainability. We had a long chats on sustainability, but it is difficult if the customers are not on board. It is very difficult to bring that sustainability into the system.
And you think the customer is not yet on board when it comes to paying for it? Because like you said, it comes at a cost. That means things become more expensive.
There are few set of customers who are doing it. India is a very big market. A lot of people are there. Currently, the education about the products is one part. I think in a decade or so, we will see a revolution into sustainability, but it's not. I don't think right now is the right time. Yes, but good part is people have started talking about it. Right, initially, up 10 years back, people don't talk about sustainability much. But if we have started conversing about it, then I think a decade or so, things will definitely going to change.
Got it. Just one last question from my side. Since you do manage the customer side as well, 50% of your revenue still comes from your own website, which is incredible, especially given that you are now profitable as a business, etc. Because typically what we've seen is driving traffic to your website is expensive and ROASes go out of control, and hence brands typically rely on marketplaces. How have you managed to do that? It's quite commendable.
See, it's all about, we are very customer centric, right? Whenever you do things on platforms, you just get an insight of what they are sharing, right? It's very difficult to talk to the customers directly. You don't get the data. That's why we have a inherent focus on that we should bring our customers to our own website. Uh, but still we are doing it with profitability, so we are okay. Our team are executing it really great. The CACs, they have already, our repeat is great. So with respect to the expense part, we are in a very right position. We will definitely going to focus on, every platform is important. We are focusing on all the new age platform, quick commerce, Amazons, Nykas of the world, Flipkarts of the world. We really work closely with them to increase our sales, because these are the sales platform for us. D2C is a very different ballgame for us. Other than sales, it's where our heart lies, or where we are very close to the consumer. You get a lot of data, a lot of insight. So yes, we'll keep focusing on bringing the customers on our website, along with working with the channels for the sales part. Yes.
Got it. I'll just open it up to the audience for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Can we get a mic there?
The mic is already there.
Okay.
Hello. I wanted to ask a question about sustainability, and thanks to Varun that it was asked. But I would like to know from Saurabh that what is the percentage margin if the packaging is higher than the current packaging that you use, you would be okay with it? The question is coming from, because I'm a startup from Bangalore, which we are developed biocomposite, which can be molded into cosmetic packaging and beyond. And it doesn't utilize any plasticizer, and we have tried to make it as affordable as possible. And that's possible even further to get in par with glass packaging, the same price. It is possible. But I think the collaboration would be much needed to understand what's needed from the industry. So could you give your insight?
On the gross margin part, I have to check frankly what extra that we can pay, every extra penny that it hurts. But yes, if things are, say for example, it is scalable, right? Then we are happy to invest into sustainability. We gross margins can be adjusted here and there by doing a lot of adjustments, or basically you can cut down the marketing. If you are sustainable, if you get a good marketing point, then I think you can cut down that. But definitely would love to collaborate if anything can be done in sustainability, like you are doing. And you also, I don't know, I'm reading a lot on sustainability. There are less people who are doing research onto sustainability, but if you have done it, would love to collaborate. Would love to understand how we can bring the sustainability into our system and serve the planet. Yes.
Sure, sir. Good to know that. And do you think, just one more question, do you think the aesthetic of the packaging also matters if sustainability is involved with it?
What do you think? Whether there are two sunscreens at the same price, and if it is a great packaging,
Yes.
No packaging is bad,
Yes.
but if there's a differentiation to packaging, which one will you pick?
I think it depends on the kind of social media coverage people do buy based on the hype marketing also. So there is kind of a Gen Z trend going towards the aesthetic, because the unboxing has become kind of a trend.
Correct.
So I think there is a little bit of inclination, but yeah, majority depends on the price. I do also.
So again, the flow is proposition of the product, then the product itself, then the
Yes.
packaging, then pricing, right?
Yes.
So it will fall. This is a waterfall mechanism that our customers always see. and then he picks the product. So if the product is really great, you have a great story about the sustainability, so I think they'll pick. But it has to be so aesthetic. For other than aesthetic, the more important part is the functionality of the product,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Functionality of the packaging.
100%.
So if the functionality is good, and if the story is there of sustainability, I don't think my customers will not pick, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have time for one question more.
Hi. Thank you. Thanks for the talk. I have just a quick question from Saurabh. When you started out mCaffeine and Hyphen, how did you decide whether to focus, when you were designing your packaging, how did you decide whether to focus on your brand or the ingredients that distinguishes your brand in your packaging? How did you decide what the consumer should see? कि मेरे ये 4 ingredient अच्छे हैं या ये मेरा brand नया है, you know? Because you're a new brand. It's not like a, I don't know,
Correct.
PNG brand or something which you can just slap the name on the face.
Correct.
But you need to distinguish yourself. Like you said, the consumer reads and understands what they're using. So how did you sort of grapple with that?
It has evolved from in the past 7 to 8 years. Initially, when you start, you always want to stamp your name, right? It is but natural that comes here, people should know my brand. But if I just, with my little experience of 7, 8 years into this industry, you should show what the product has, right? It will definitely going to help the consumers. And now there are 2 things for which platform you are building the product. For example, you are building it offline, so it has a different eye for the product, rather than you are building a D2C, then a Flipkart, because or any other channel, because there are a lot of clutter there. On D2C, when you are building it, there's a less clutter there. You can show different things there. So it's up to the team, up to what you want to stamp first, right? Either the product or the brand. If you know that your product has very great things that should be shown, what is your conviction is what will define. If you ask me personally, I will ask you put products, what the product has, as much as visibility you will give to the customer. It would be really helpful for the customer to pick the product. But if you're building it for D2C, you can do it from your marketing, from your ads and everything. But if you're building it for offline, there's no one to speak, only the packaging will speak, right? So it would be totally dependent on which platform you are launching the product. Hope I answered.
Awesome. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Varun. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause to Varun and Saurabh? I can't hear the claps. I must say, in fact, that was quite an interesting session. There's lots to learn and take back home and reflect from this session. Saurabh, we have a small token of appreciation for you, requesting Hazel Menezes from CMPL team to please come on stage and present the same. In fact, I must say, what a kickstart to our Speak Knowledge series. Quite an interesting one.